So you're struggling to make your monthly expenses and you're just looking at budgets and how to do it. You see all these different things. P&L budget, a 50-30-20 budget, a 15-65-20 budget. Well, there's plenty of ways to budget, but in all reality, you have to do something that's unique to you. All of us are different. We're all going to have different situations, different income levels, different amounts of bills, and different savings goals, which may change depending on where you are in life. Hello and welcome to Low Finance, where we listen to lo-fi music and talk a little bit about finance. So we're going to take a quick look at assets and liabilities. Assets are things that you have that are valuable. Your income is part of this, but it's mostly the things that you have sitting there in the background. Things like cash. How much cash do you have in the bank? Your investments. Do you own some Apple stock or some Amazon stock? Do you have money in your IRA for your retirement, your 401k at work? How much equity do you have in your house? What's it worth? Do you have any investment properties? Any collectibles? Maybe you collect sports cards, coins, comic books, whatever you collect that has value to it. Or maybe you have some bars of silver and gold sitting in a safe at your house. Then you have liabilities. That's going to be things that you owe. So it could be student loan payments, a car loan, utility bills, insurance, rent, or subscriptions. So anything that is taking money out of your pocket every month, those are going to be considered liabilities. Next, you're going to have your income. Hopefully you have a job. If you're looking for one, I hope you find one soon, because we all need to have a job. We all need to have that money coming in the door. But does your income cover your rent or your mortgage? Does it easily enable you to pay for your utility bills? They're going to differ a little bit depending on where you are in the country. Your electric bill might be low, but your water bill might be high. They might both be high, or they might both be low, and something you're not even worried about. Do you have enough income to cover your credit card debt? Does it allow you to eat well? Can you pretty much buy whatever you want to eat? Or are you living on ramen, which I've done before? Do you have a bunch of subscriptions, and do you have enough money to pay for them? And at the end of the day, or month I suppose, is there any left for you to save? Well, I would recommend that you create a table looking something like this. So you're going to have your income, your liabilities, and your assets. So your income is going to be what money you make from your primary job. And your side hustle, if you have one, would also be considered income. So you can see here in this chart, for this example, we have an income of $3,000 per month. Next, you're going to want to list all your liabilities. So if you have student loans, car loans, utility bills, insurance, rent, and then these subscriptions, and then you're going to add them all up. So we have an income of $3,000 and we owe about $2,550 per month. Well, this is going to leave us with about $450 left over. So with that leftover money, you have two options. You can either increase your assets, contribute more to your retirement, to your cash, or maybe buy some collectibles, or you can decrease your debt faster. Now, I would recommend decreasing your debt faster if you have something that has a higher interest rate. If it's a credit card debt, then you're going to want to pay that down faster. It's going to have a higher interest rate. If you have student loans, maybe you want to pay those off, or maybe you have a higher car loan interest rate, then you're going to want to pay it off first. But overall, if your interest rate on your debt is at or above 3 to 4%, you're going to want to hammer down at paying off that debt faster. Now, the average stock market return each year, after inflation, is about 7 or 8%. So definitely anything over the average stock market return, you're going to want to pay down that debt first. But if you have low interest rate debt, maybe you would contribute to your savings or investments prior to paying off that debt. Because I can tell you right now, if I could buy a house at a 2% interest rate right now, I would be going out and trying to buy all the houses I can. All in all though, as far as increasing your assets, one thing you really need to think about is compound interest. The longer you have money sitting and doing work for you, the more time that money has to compound over and over and over. And if you want to learn a little bit more about compound interest, go ahead and check out my other video. I'll pin it here in this slide. Now, if you're struggling, you don't have quite enough leftover cash at the end of the month to save or pay down that debt faster, there are a few quick ways that you can increase how much cash you have left over. Do you have a bunch of subscriptions? If you do, look at them. Maybe you have 10 subscriptions. I mean, it could take some time to even dig through and figure out what all subscriptions you have. But take a look at them. What of them do you actually need? What of them do you consistently use? Is it really worth what you're paying for it? Second, you could get a side gig. Maybe you work a full-time job, but when you get home from work, you just find yourself sitting on the couch or watching TV, not doing too much. Well, take some of that time, get a side gig. Go do some DoorDash and some Uber Eats. Maybe even get a second job at a restaurant you like to eat at. Learn how to make the food there so that you can then make it at home. Therefore, you're saving money making it at home, and you're making money learning how to make the stuff you want to eat. Next, I would say negotiate your bills. Most people don't know. You'd be pretty surprised that you can actually call into a lot of companies and negotiate your bills down. I recently did it with my Wi-Fi. My monthly payment was, I think, about $85 a month. I called in, talked to them. I got my speed increased and reduced my bill to $50 a month. And it only took like 20 minutes. So that's definitely something to look at. Now, the last thing I would say is to look into cashback credit cards. This probably is second easiest thing to do after reducing your subscriptions. Cashback credit cards can be an easy way to get 1, 3, 5, or even 10% back on your spending. And you really don't have to do anything. Once you get the credit card, you just pay for your stuff like you normally would. You might have to pick categories in those credit cards, but at the end of the day, you're going to get money back for spending the money you were already going to spend. But if you want to learn more about those, just take a look at the video that I'll pin right here. Other than that, I hope you have a great day.